Joe Burrow, the unquestioned starting quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, he could use some help either at skill positions or at offensive line, or really both. They've got the 5th overall pick in the draft. He spoke earlier this week to Chris Collinsworth about the fact that he's not making any effort to try to persuade the Bengals to do any specific thing with that 5th overall pick. Here's Joe Burrow.
I haven't offered up any strong opinion.
Well, let me give you a couple then.
I'm great friends with Ja'Marr. We've been talking for a year since we stopped playing together. We talked, last week. So I'm great friends with Ja'Marr. I know the kind of player that he is, but I think we're in a great spot. I think a lot of the picks in front of us will be quarterbacks. Not sure how many of them, but I think a lot of them will be. So I think we're in a good spot to just take the best available, especially after the free agency that we had. We signed a lot of really good players, got a lot of help on defense, signed Riley Reif at tackle. He's going to help us a lot. So we're in a really good spot. And, I trust the organization to do what they do and do their jobs and pick the best player.
Hey, there's a chance it's going to be 4 for 4 quarterbacks before the Bengals pick at number 5. They could have the de facto, as far as they're concerned, number 1 overall pick 2 years in a row because they weren't going to take a quarterback with one of the first 4 picks. This plays out perfectly for them, especially if the Atlanta Falcons go Trey Lance to follow Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones, assuming that's what the 49ers do. So this is great for the Bengals, but at some point you got to make a choice. And Shireen, I continue to believe they're better off with Penei Sewell. It's the safer choice. It's the way the Bengals have always seemed to be. They're going to be safe. They're going to be smart, and they need someone to protect Joe Burrow. And they had that bad experience with John Ross, 9th overall pick 4 years ago at receiver, the last guy taken before Patrick Mahomes. I think that makes them more inclined to go with a safer pick. And even though there have been busts at offensive tackle, most notably Tony Mandarich, but plenty of others as well, the bust rate traditionally has been lower for high-end tackles in the top 10.
And if I'm Ja'Marr Chase, I pick up the phone immediately when I see that quote, and I'm calling Joe Burrow and go, come on, man, what are you doing? Because you remember last year, this really stuck out to me, Mike. Last year, Kyler Murray pitched hard for CeeDee Lamb. I want CeeDee Lamb. Let's go get CeeDee Lamb. He's my guy, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb. What is the harm in pushing for your guy? It tells me that he wants Penei Sewell. That's what it tells me. He wants that left tackle. They didn't protect him very well last year. He got the knee injury. He wants that addition to the offensive line that's going to give him more time. He likes his receiving core. That's what that told me, Mike, that he would prefer, let's go with the big offensive tackle who's going to be really good for a really long time, rather than, as you said, a receiver. There are plenty of receivers in this draft. If they need a receiver, they can go get a receiver in the second round. But their receiver core looks pretty good, even if they don't add to it.
Also a chance he's been paying very close attention to some of the issues that have popped up in other cities where starting quarterbacks have wanted to have greater involvement, like a Russell Wilson, and there's been arguments that maybe Aaron Rodgers should be more involved in picking personnel, and maybe Burrow is just trying to create an early career firewall where that's not going to be the guy who I am, at least not publicly, because no matter what he says publicly, he could be saying something else privately, and he's decided it's better to just come off as a guy who knows his place, and he can always explain it to Ja'Marr Chase later if and when the Bengals take Penei Sewell, and I think that's who they will take.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.